and welcome back to the channel that knows nothing. I'm Jem and let's get to it.
The pain.
So, don't you think it's funny when your manager like shouts across the store if you can work this afternoon, even though you got up really early to get there on time because the store's under inspection and stuff, and you had to be there extra early and you are now dead inside. And he asks you if you can work at like 5 o'clock and you go, what? He says 5 o'clock and you don't hear what he says still, and so you're like, no, sorry, I've got uni. And really, I do have uni, but it doesn't end at 5 o'clock. It ends earlier. And I was like, sorry, I can't. And it was his choice to yell across the store and do that to me. And my hearing is not great, and I can't even hear myself at the moment. But we're gonna do it anyway, because we talk about stuff that we don't even know about, so yeah. Let's go. So today I am talking about my asshole gym teacher. Now, I don't make all these stories up. I actually encountered these people in real life. I had a bad art teacher, bad photography teacher, bad tennis teacher, and now we are talking about my bad gymnastics teacher. So let's go. I really don't know, make this stuff up. Bad things just happen to me. Yay! Maybe for the rest of my life too! Oh god, that's not gonna be fun. So it was around that age where everyone was obsessed with like being a dancer of some sort, like doing ballet, calisthenics, hip hop, whatever, jazz, cheerleading. And I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to be a gymnast. Yes, gymnast? Yeah. So my aunt and my aunt didn't do gymnastics, but my cousins did. And the aunt of those cousins were like, hey, come to this gymnastic place, it's really great. And like, you'll probably be in a group with like the eldest of the two. And I was like, cool, doing gymnastics with my cousin. That sounds like alright. Like, I don't know, it was around that age where you were supposed to be doing like sports. And that was my sport. Good on ya. What's wrong with me? So I go to this gymnastics place for the first time and expecting it to be like really great and like, yeah, awesome. But yeah, it wasn't. Basically, the only good thing about my first experience with gymnastics was the warm-up. And that was about it. Everything after that was just shit. So, after the warm-up, they set us down on like the typical blue mats. Like, it's a gymnastics gym. Why was that hard to say? Anyway, so they set us down on like these blue mats. Everyone, like everyone here of different ages are here, and they're calling out names. And what they fail to do is say last names. And there is about 5 billion Rebeccas in the room. So I go with the wrong group, of course, and then I cry over to my mum, who's waiting for me on the sidelines, because, you know, that's what mums did at that age. They didn't go and then come back. They just waited and watched you fail at gymnastics. But anyway... Anyway, so I go crying over to my mum, just like, I can't find my group. This is like, it's like the worst thing that could happen to like, what, a 10-year-old? I don't even know when I did this, but this is my memory of it. So I joined up like for gymnastics basically halfway through the year, and what I didn't realize at the time is that there was like competitive gymnastics, and then there was just gymnastics for fun. And what happened was I got put into a competitive group, but basically all the groups within this one gym were competitive on like different levels. But man, I got put with the most competitive bitch out there. I used to have dreams about boxing this bitch because I hated her that much. So what happened was I got put with this group with about maybe 5 other girls, and I was probably the least advanced because I was only just starting. And even though I was at a young age, I wasn't as advanced as these people that would, you know, doing it since they were like in the womb or something ridiculous. Anyway, I have no idea like what this person's name was. I can't remember her. She like did affect my life within like, you know, scarring my childhood and not making me want to do gymnastics again. That is about as much as she scarred me. But like, man, she was just so mean. And like at that age you kind of expect like, you know, them to be kind of nice-ish because you're still learning. But man, she was not. She taught me the routine and everything, and was just pretty much like, was just so strict. Like basically, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, blah 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 blah. I almost broke my back doing gymnastics because, like I said before, parents didn't go away and then come back. It was like you had to stay and watch your kid do gymnastics. And there was like this sort of viewing area when you could see all the mums on their phone playing their freaking Candy Crush game, whatever. I don't know what mums do. I'm not one, so why would I know? Anyway, one time my mum, like, she didn't have an advanced phone at the time. There wasn't really like a good iPhone out yet. So she basically just watched me all the time. She was like terrified that I was gonna break something because of the like freaking routine I was doing. All I remember from the routine is the first bit, because literally everything else I couldn't do. I couldn't do anything else. The first bit was you did a handstand and then you rolled into a sort of like presenting thing. So you kind of like started in you had to like cartwheel into a handstand, do this forward roll, but you kind of had to do the forward roll within like a couple stages. So you did the handstand, so then you kind of like tucked your head in and kind of like fell into the roll, but like I wasn't that advanced, and every time I fell straight onto my back, and I did that probably over 100 times trying to get this right for this woman who just persisted in hating me forever. One time she just made me sit on the sidelines doing crunches because I wasn't good enough to do what they were doing. The one thing that I did love about this, and that she never yelled at me for, was the trampoline and doing flips and everything, because I was a good flipper. I don't know what I was going on. Anyway, it was like one of those trampoline places and you flipped into those giant foam cubes. Anyway, I used to be really good at flipping, but not anymore. I've lost that love for gymnastics. She killed it. She killed it. Anyway, I used to be really good at it. And then one time I did one thing wrong. I like slipped because my foot was sweaty or something. She yelled at me because I fell back onto the trampoline. And she's like, do you think that's good enough to win nationals? Or something. I don't know if that's even true. I can't even remember what she said because I was kind of blacking out by this point. Along with the foam pit, there was this, like, after we did a flip, we had to go and climb this, like, frickin' rope. What I didn't know is that we didn't have to climb it to the very top. I was a very good climber back then. I used to climb trees and all this other stuff. I don't know why they didn't just let me do something outside. Why did my parents make me do gymnastics? Well, technically they didn't make me do gymnastics. That was my idea. But then again, I did try stuff outside and that didn't really go well for me either. Fucking tennis, am I right, boy? Anyway, the rope. What I didn't know is that we only had to do maybe like, sort of like, climb it 5 arm lengths, if that makes sense. So like, grab it 5 times and then just sort of go back down. But like, that was never explained to me. Nothing was ever instructed to me. Anyway, so I just assumed that we'd climb to the top and then back down. And then I got in trouble for climbing to the top, and my fucking teacher was like, this is what Rebecca did this afternoon. She's in big trouble. Don't know if I can let her back onto the squad. And I was just like, at the point, I was like, I don't even care about this anymore. I don't even care. Like, this was like maybe my 10th, like, lesson, and I was just sick of it. I was sick of dealing with this bitch, because I'm like, you know what, just gonna maybe try one more week of this, and then I'm done. That's what I told my parents, at least. I'm just like, I'm try one more time to try and like get to through, like, not get through to her, but kind of like try to stay, try to be good at, you know, something. Because I really didn't have like a thing when I was younger. Like, my siblings kind of like went and did stuff, and I just wanted to stay home. As the next week comes into view, I'm really like dreading going to this class, and I just really don't want to go. But I do. And we're still practicing the routine, which I kind of started to nail, and she didn't have to, you know, she wasn't yelling at me as much as she was, and she wasn't being an asshole. So it was kind of like, yes, I got you, I got you. And then I fucked up one time and she made me do like 50 sit-ups, and it was not fun. Then I nailed it again, and she let me back into the rest of the squad. And I wasn't really friends with anybody else on the squad because they had all known each other through like the gymnastics place, and so they had kind of grown up and been in the class together, if that makes sense. And so I really didn't know anybody, and like everybody was kind of trying to be nice to me. They realized that the teacher was kind of being the biggest bitch in the world, and everyone was trying to like give me support. So it's not like, it was kind of like I had some friends, but like the teacher made it like hell for me. Then we were doing mini trampoline things. So we like ran up and then did a jump onto like, you know, a blue mat, like typical sort of things you did in like gymnastics. I'm not sure if anyone else like did this as a kid. Like we used to do this in freaking like school, PE. Anyway, so the first jump was to run up and then jump on the thing and then just land with like a normal present. I don't know how to like just sort of be like, yes, I'm done. A present. I don't know. Like a normal like sort of like weird star jumpy thing. So I'm like, yeah, cool. That's awesome. And then she's like, all right, you can do the next jump, which was like involved running up and then sort of grabbing, like you jumped on the thing, but you also kind of like fell onto like, so you went like these are your legs, you jumped and then you sort of, wait, no. I don't know how to make it do it. You like jumped and then you sort of like, these are your arms, you jumped and then sort of just fell, if that makes sense. So you like, your legs were like bounce, bounce. Yeah, I can't really do it. I don't know how to explain it, but we basically fell onto our backs, onto the like blue cushion thing, mattress. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, so we all do that jump and I'm the last one. And then I do that jump and then she looks at me. Like I'm still lying on the freaking mattress thing. She looks at me, her little snake eyes, and she's like, did I ask you to do that jump? And I was like, I thought everyone was doing it. And she's like, not you. And I was like, oh, and I was just kind of like, I have to leave now. And she was like, okay. And I was just like, she was like such a bitch. Like there's like a lot more into it. Not that I was pretty much like, wasn't prepared for like that much of intensity around gymnastics, but there is a lot about it, so I understand the pressure that comes with trying to be good, and I realized that I was probably too old to start doing gymnastics at this gymnastic place because they're highly competitive, and like that makes sense. And I'm not angry like for like this person being competitive, I'm just angry at them for not giving me a chance to be something. Like I had potential, but her like bitchiness weighed down on me, which is why I ended up quitting. I was offered into like other groups actually wanted me, but I was kind of like, not doing this, not today, son, because you made me have a bad gymnastics experience. Yeah, I knew how to say that word. Yeah, so it wasn't all negative, and like it just kind of sucked. And like, I've had a lot of experiences when, you know, I've just had a lot of experiences when I really love something and then it feels like people want to take that away from me, like with art and photography, because I thought I was really good at that. And then in my last year of high school, kind of felt like maybe I'm not so good at that, you know, as a reflection of these marks. And like, maybe it's just the people that I have, you know, as teachers, because like obviously like other groups of this gymnastics place did want me to be a part of their group, but like it's kind of like I will never know, because this happened years and years ago when I was in primary school and like didn't know shit about gymnastics, and I still don't, and probably never will. You'll probably never see me in the Olympics. Or will you? I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Anyway guys, I hope you liked this video. Please like, subscribe, because that is always nice. Comment below if you've ever had a weird teacher of any sort. Maybe a gymnastics teacher, I don't know. Maybe you've had a weird art teacher, photography teacher, tennis teacher. Those are the main ones I've had. I can't really think of any other ones at the moment, but they'll probably more added to this list. But let me know. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye! I said that weird. Hello, one.